Hello, this is Nice Wander, and it's a beautiful spring day in Southern California. Skies are blue, birds are singing, flowers are blooming, and the earth looks just fine. The inhabitants, on the other hand, um, what a crazy world we are living in right now. Wars that just keep going on, and nobody's interested in really talking about peace, it seems. Real peace, sustaining peace, and the economy is really in shambles for more and more people. Half the population is basically poor. 94% of the jobs created during the Obama administration, 50 million jobs, which he talked about, were actually part-time temporary with little or no benefits. And that's in the U.S., and that's pathetic. With all the wealth that comes into this country, consolidating into fewer and fewer hands with each year, as statistics from Oxfam indicate, and about 80% of the wealth goes into the hands of the top 20%. That's 2017 where we live, and nobody seems to think that that's something that can be addressed. Obviously, if it's not talked about, those that are supposed to be in charge of solving crises and problems such as this don't know what to do. And then we have this issue of our healthcare system, again, the richest country in the world, and we can't get a single payer, or what we would call Medicare for all, here in the United States, even though most civilized, if not all civilized countries around the world have single payer, and many of them have had it for decades, even Israel and Saudi Arabia. But no, not the United States. We just can't. We have to have insurance companies. We have to have privatization of everything. Education now as well. What makes that better? Putting more money into the hands of fewer people makes the educational process better. How does that work? What about the brain? What about the heart? What about the mind? Where does that enter in the equation? Well, that should be what it's about, not money. And speaking of the healthcare systems, the Obamacare got 20 million more people insured, and of course the students can stay on their parents' plans longer, and the pre-existing conditions gone away. But aside from that, the premiums went up astronomically, again because of the money through the insurance companies and the big pharma, which doesn't want competition from Canadian companies because it would lower their value, lower their stock value. We can't do that. Oh no. And on and on and on. And of course, the reality of repealing Obamacare and replacing it with the Republican plan, which is really not that much different than what Obamacare was, because Obamacare was pretty much a right-wing Republican plan, tweaked a little bit. So what this is really about is tax cuts, folks, for a handful of wealthy people, pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies, etc., big money interests, and hundreds of billions of dollars of tax cuts. For what? They're going to cut back on programs for Medicare for all, that would be those that actually are at the bottom of the income strata. How does that make sense? Where is compassion? Where is empathy? Looks like a lot of irresponsibility. And we need to work together and help one another, not literally have no solutions except for those at the top, it seems. And we get tired of repeating these things over and over and over again. And it's time to start engaging yourself, getting involved. So there's lots of organizations that are starting to come together. I am definitely all about building coalitions and finding convergences and networking, connecting, and addressing these issues so that we live in a more equitable, compassionate, and loving, peaceful, diverse, accepted society. Well, that being said, check out the Now Man Show for fun and for information. Arts, entertainment, education, and news. Something for everyone. Now Man Show on YouTube. Broadcasts on the Royal Channel, based out of Pasadena every Thursday, 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Pacific Time, and it's also on AT&T Uverse Channel 99 throughout the LA area, probably around this area of the country, and also Charter Cable, Pasadena. This is Nice Wonder.